than an insect. Yes, let's rise to the top like a bench press. Lift and extend like a drift in the wind, cause it exists within. So pot floating above the rim like Jordan. Soaring over the heads, we stay soaring, ignoring any limitations they putting on us. Dormant, daydreaming, leaving the Earth's orbit. The sky ain't the limit, we rarely in search for it. So lend me your ears, make sure you're listening clear. Freedom exists in the air, that's why I'm taking you there. Who cares? You scared of the heights, bungee jumping.
What's good, people? It's your boy Rock, and this is the Black Astronauts crew. I don't know if it's really right that I put my name before that. You know what? I ain't trying to Daniel Ruffin this. My bad. This is just Black Astronauts. And, you know, if you are 18 and enjoy the show. But if you are 18 and younger, you got to go.
It's not quite Bambi Deer Legs, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
He got about 3 good legs in that last one.
Lil Shaggy, what's up, people? This is the Black Astronauts podcast, an adult podcast where we talk about life, politics, religion, relationships, anything that we want to. And I am your host, Aaron B. No, actually, I am Teddy D, filling in for the homie that is the founder as well as the producer of said podcast. At the top of the show, we want to give you a quick update and let you know what's going on with Aaron. A lot of people have hit us up, put out the APB, like what's going on. Hey, Aaron's taking a little time away from the show, but he is like the creepy guy he is in the corner listening. Very, very astute.
Swiping, no swiping.
Yeah. It's strange, but it's all.
I got kids. I'm sorry.
Well played, sir. But in the meantime, we are keeping the party going, and we will be coming out with shows, and we'll talk a little bit about the schedule in a second. But yeah, just if you have a way to reach out to him, let him know. You're thinking about him, all that good stuff. He would appreciate it. But even if you don't, he knows that your love is being felt. So here is the update on the network. While we are holding it down for Aaron B, waiting on our fearless leader to return, we will be putting a hold on all Patreon. As of now, no premium content is coming out, even though we're going to be giving you plenty of content on the free side. We appreciate all the love and support, and truthfully, people have reached out and said that they're not supporting us for the shows, they're just supporting us to support us, which is extremely, extremely dope. And please don't think that we don't appreciate it, because we do. It's nothing but love from us to you. So even if you haven't been a Patreon member and you just showed us love, downloaded the show, you're listening, we love you, we appreciate it. So if anything does change in that, we'll give you plenty of notice ahead of time. But until then, just rock with us, download the shows, give us feedback, and you can email that to the blackastronautspodcast@gmail.com, or you can call and leave a message on our voicemail at 502-498-8814. That's 502-498-8814. We are on Facebook at the Black Astronauts Network group, which is always dope. Some funny articles, and it's a great way to really get to know some of the people that listen to the show as well. And we are on Twitter, so we will start off giving some people's info as we go around the room tonight. I'm joined by 2 esteemed colleagues. I will start with my left, and because we're not in the same room, nobody knows who I'm talking about, right? She is one half of the Mixed Review shows. How would you like the people to know you on the said show? Would you like to be known as Dark Superwoman Supreme, maybe?
Oh my.
No.
Oh,
okay. How about
okay.
How about this Nubian Wonder Woman? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Okay.
A little bit, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay. I know you can't put that on the t-shirt. Whatever you want to do, just let the people tell them what's up and how you been doing, what you been up to.
All right. Letha, as you mentioned, I am one of the 2 wonderful people doing Mixed Reviews on the network, and I'm just living, surviving.
Man,
Just taking life in stride.
that's a lot in Trump's America.
Listen, whew,
For real. He trying to he making it hard to live for people with good jobs.
Right.
listen.
Bro, I pay taxes. I pay taxes. Jesus.
Yeah. It is hard sometimes just to go about the day to day when you see all of the crazy happening, but we're here.
All right. Now, if the people want to reach you, should they email? Should they send a pigeon? What's the best way to communicate?
The best way right now to reach me is I am on Facebook, so at Letha Mixed Reviews, and yeah, just holler at me.
Bad. And the other half of that wonderful show, Mixed Reviews, the homie, one of the 25% of the founding group of this podcast network. Woo. Coming in from the DMV area. We got the homie, Rocket Manning. What's up?
Going on? Let me tell you, man. Well, first and foremost, you don't be messing up. Shout out to Small Lives for doing the theme song.
Thank you.
You know, never forget, go to smallives.com. You know, all that love right there. You know, that iconic sound when it gets started is dope. Never forget. So with that, man, so, like in the DMV, we just had the snowstorm, and let me tell you, I thought it was going to be a pump. I thought we was going to have maybe an inch for real, little.
It snowed.
Listen.
Real?
It snowed. We got about a good 8 inches.
Ew.
Yeah, they were saying 5 to 10, so it's right in there.
Listen, we got 8 inches,
okay.
And so, man, I love my babies.
However,
howsoever, they want to play outside of
no.
in this white shit. So,
of course.
So let me tell you, I was so happy to be, daddy taking care of the family. I was like, got to shovel the driveway.
So wait, you prefer to shovel the driveway
I
than
prefer
to play in the snow?
than to play with the snow. Look, I went to the store and bought hella toys. I was like, here, 2 sledge.
Don't ask me for nothing.
His
Right?
I bought him snowball makers.
That's what your mama's for. Go ahead.
Wow.
For real. Seriously, I'm over here negotiating with my wife. All right, look, I'm going to be the man.
Wow, really?
And I'm going to shovel this snow. And you going to play with the kids.
How we going to get out? How we going to get out if I don't do it?
How we going to get out? That is, I have a duty.
You ain't right. You ain't right at all.
I got a civic right.
I'm telling you, but you know what? Playing in the snow is one of those things where it sounds so much better than it is.
For real.
At least as an adult.
Man, listen.
See, I guess I'm a big kid because I'd be totally down to hit a kid with a snowball. Just saying.
Oh, well, with these snowball clans, let me tell you, man, these snowballs they were dense.
Oh, man. Is that ice?
I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a good daddy today. But there was a couple of times when they turned around, one at the nape.
See,
just one at the nape. But nah, man. So the biggest part though is just, and I need some Aleve, yo. That lower back.
Man.
Shoveling is no joke.
Oh my God.
Real.
But let me tell you, it was worth it because I ain't want to play. It's worth it as hell. Y'all can find me at Ronald McNeil on Facebook, man. That's it. That's what I got.
That's what's up.
What you been up to?
Oh man, listen, about the same. So here in Louisville, we had a respectable amount. What was it? Maybe, I don't know. Nothing comparable, but maybe 2.5. But here's the great thing: it was only here for a day. So it came. Everybody's excited, woohoo! But by the time the kids put the coat on, it had already melted.
It was gone.
So I'm like, listen, son, you had to take a nap. Can't get mad at me. I don't know what you want from me, man. We'll catch you next time. It's all good. But I had a real moment. So my son is going to be 4 in March, and he just got. I bought and put together his first big boy bed this past weekend.
Oh, great!
Yeah. I mean, should be nothing. Man, I'm a
Everything
punk.
is something, son.
I'm a punk.
Everything is something.
Oh boy.
I'm a punk, man. So, so usually a little behind the scenes for everybody. The running joke here the last couple of years is I'm typically late for the show because, like I did tonight, I messed up the time, but I usually put my son down every night. That's my thing. And when I do, sometimes he hits me with right when I'm walking out the room. He's a little sleepy.
Boy.
He's like, "Daddy, will you lay with me?"
Oh. Oh. That's like a superpower, ain't it?
You
gonna say no?
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Yeah, most people do. That's the thing about it. That's what my boys laugh at me about. But nah. So like laying with him literally means I'm just on the floor while he's in the bed. Whatever. He's trying to talk. I'm telling him shut up. It's a whole thing. But that was our thing. I made him the bed. He was excited. It's one of those things where he climbs up in it, and it's like a half bunk bed, so he's got a little area under there. And I'm just like, all right, man, you ready to go to sleep? He's like, yeah. And I was waiting for him to say, you wanna lay with me?
Oh boy.
He never did. I'm just like, really, dog? One bed?
Ain't you got a show to produce? Kicking you out.
Like, see you later.
Daddy, I want you to get on your job. I'm like, all right, man. So, my baby's growing up. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh.
Thug tier. What do you do? In the meantime, you can make fun of me at Teddy_D_ on Twitter. I'm also on, what's the other one? The Gram, Dwight Ted, and then Facebook. In the Facebook group, always posting some funny stuff with the homie CY. He's also great at posting in there, and he can't be with us tonight. He is making them hot hits, but he will return soon. So, listen here, family. We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do. Man, since the break, there's a lot of shit that's gone down.
We got government shutdowns.
Shut it down.
We got creeps that we've been knowing about for years being exposed.
Finally, goddamn.
We got some slow claps. We got some sit your down.
Damn.
In the front part. So what we're gonna do is try to make it as engaging, as entertaining for you as possible. We all know that this is a conversation that may have been had before, but we don't think that you've heard it like this. So
nope.
We are going to start with something that actually may be prevalent to everybody around the country, and that is the government shutdown.
Oh, man.
So here is my condensed breakdown on what's happened. Then I want to open it up and talk to you two about it. President Trump got elected through racism, and that
Let's start there. Let's fucking start at the beginning.
So far, so good.
Through said racism, one of the vehicles was that he was going to separate us in Mexico by a wall that would magically stop all drugs and killing, because they were the source of it all, obviously.
And the drug dealing killers,
yes,
we're going to pay for it.
That's it. Yeah,
right.
That's the best part. That's the best part. That Mexico is going to pay for the wall. So from there, now he's been in office 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 years? By the way,
No.
Jesus. He's been in office 2 years, and now he's putting his foot down, not approving the current budget, because he says that he wants a wall built. The amount that he wants is about $5.6 billion, which, although it sounds like a big number in the grand scheme of things, in government terms, it's really not. Those numbers get thrown around a lot, and the Democrats
have actually put more than that, like 2 times that in the past. Towards the wall.
Which is the irony, because everyone agrees, Democrat, Republican, and Independent, hey, border security is good, Donald J. Trump. However, what you're talking about. Maybe not so much.
Right.
So it is literally at a standstill as of today, or excuse me, yesterday. I think
Yesterday,
it was the longest shutdown recorded in history. That shutdown is ongoing as of recording time.
give it up to Donald Trump, for making history.
Donald J. Trump, everybody. Donald J. Trump.
Piece of shit.
And now it is to the point where it's truly game time for federal employees. For everyone who doesn't know how it works, anyone who works for the federal government that's considered a non-essential or a furloughed employee doesn't get paid. They literally have no paycheck. So imagine just all of a sudden next Friday comes and no direct deposit hits. Like, what type of chaos would that create in most people's lives?
You got to get them fees.
You
ain't paid that $12 Bank of America fee in years.
Listen, you gonna take me back to the '90s and make me relapse over the overdrawn fees. Woo! That was tough. That was a tough time. But so now the Democratic position is simple. We have power in the House. Welcome to the blue wave, and we are not giving you money for this wall. But here's what I want to ask y'all. As much as we want this wall to not happen, right? Isn't this a really good negotiating tool for the Democrats? Could it be, is what I'm asking. Could it be? Like, what are some of the unmentionables, the unimaginable things that Democratic leadership wants? At the top of the list for me is probably DACA, right? So DACA, the Dreamers Act, essentially is everyone whose parents are considered immigrants but have come into our country and then given birth to children, or they were brought over as a young child to America. They don't have American citizenship. However, through a bill that the Democrats have been trying to push, the Dreamers Act, they wanted to give them said citizenship. It's been a long, ongoing debate, and there's not been any movement. My thinking is, and I'm not saying this is a solution, I'm just floating it out there. If he wants that money for the wall, I'm not saying give him all the money. Maybe even give him $2.3 billion, but you can't use it on the wall. You got to use it to beef up security, something like that. And then they can get the DACA bill signed. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, I feel like you're being really logical about this.
There's no logic.
And I respect that. I really do. That being said, I don't know that would even work. Just because I feel like he's not going to go for it. It feels like anything short of, I won, I got the wall.
Yeah.
I don't see him going for it. And if you give him anything that involves that wall, even if you say we'll give you less to build a little wall, whatever it is, right. Anything you say that involves that, the Democrats are giving in, and that's going to lead to a whole other set of headaches.
That's valid.
I mean, son, first off, he ain't taking nothing less than exactly what he asked for, with a gold-plated kiss of his ass at the end. That is all. He's like, you gotta do exactly what I said, and you need to stand on one toe and sing "I'm a Little Teapot, Short and Stout."
Yeah.
I mean, so a part of what we've been asking for is for the Democrats to grow a pair, quote unquote.
Right. Testicles,
ovaries, whichever.
Way to be
you.
inclusive. That's good.
But to grow them, all right, to get them
reproductive organs, please.
Get some reproduction organisms. So this is kind of that. Also, point period. Walls, essentially, even though we know they exist, for that to be something that we stand on as a country,
don't work.
No,
well, they don't work. But the mirror, I mean, Berlin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reagan, their patron saint.
Tear down these walls.
The patron saint of Republica.
Oh yeah.
It's all about tearing walls down. So, part of what's happening right now, which is delicious, it's just this whole Trump. Even his people was like, shut the fuck up. And the reason why is because what he's doing is all of the things that they've been doing behind the curtain. Yeah. He like, take a look. I'm Donald Trump. And they like, no, because if they see it,
doing it wrong.
It'll be horrible.
If they see it, then they're gonna want to do it.
Yeah.
We gave them affirmative action. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, if he even, I think his people have to stop him from even getting the wall, because if he does, he's now opening the door for everyone to be able to do the things they do.
Right.
And some hoteps have used that logic to be like, hey, that's why I like Trump, because he ruining it. And, that means we can do it, it's Trump a good thing. But, at the end of the day, so to answer your question, should the Democrats play the game? Nah, man, because, it's like blood on your hands,
right.
Not the wall. The wall represents so much, and if they fell on this, history would have to blur those lines as to, who really was the moral compass of the country.
Mm-hmm. And that, it's such a it's such a tangled web, because the other side of this is Nancy Pelosi, who was just reelected as leader of the House, was not unanimously elected by any means. There was mostly new Congress people that had some objection to her as leadership, because she, essentially she put her people on, and there's a lot of old people, and there's not room for growth, and they want more of that, right? So, but the point is, she got support from some of the Congress people by saying, listen, I'm not going to budge on this wall. No matter what they say or what they put on in front of us, we are not going to approve it. So this is the equivalent of a standstill. But Donald Trump actually did a favor to the Democrats when
he did. It was great.
When he had a public meeting with the leader, Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democratic Senate, and Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the Democratic Congress, when they had a press conference, which wasn't planned to be a legitimate press conference. It was just a photo op. But all of a sudden, Trump started talking. And if you start talking that ish, of course, we got to correct you. So they get into it. And while they get into it, Trump says, you know what? And this was before the shutdown. He said, if we shut down, I'll own this shutdown. I will own it. And from that moment on, this has been the Trump shutdown, which has been glorious.
But don't listen to Fox News though. It's the Democratic shutdown.
Oh Jesus. Well, come on. Fox News is Fox News.
Fox News.
And I gotta say, in all fairness to the 3 conservative listeners we have out here, but like MSNBC is just as bad on the other side. Like not just as bad. Maybe not just as bad.
Yes.
Let me pull back a little bit. But they can go super left as well. So yeah. But then again, I try to watch PBS. It's just a little too boring. But then I feel like they're the only ones that are right down the middle. But it's hard to stay awake, boy. It's hard to stay awake.
You were like, when is Arthur coming on?
Where's Daniel the Tiger? Maybe he can give the weather. This is just bad. But yeah, man.
When Trump's around, find the government and shut it down.
That's valid to do, man. That's a beautiful song.
Oh, God.
Man, I hope our only listeners got kids, man, because
y'all go. Listen.
I gotta say that was amazing.
This is a dog whistle for all the parents out there. I'm telling you.
Ring ring. Oh,
but I know just from the past emails that we've gotten, we do have at least a couple of listeners that work for the federal government, and listen, it's horrible. But I did want to give one ray of light. There's a bank in South Dakota that hit the news today and said that they are going to be offering no interest loans to any furloughed federal employee.
Oh, wow.
And that's up until a month after the shutdown is off. So there are people out there doing really good things, and I know just specific to local news, there's a group of chefs that are coming together, and they're cooking meals for furloughed employees, as well as, of course, the shelters. So, wherever you live, there's resources. Swallow your pride if you got to. Do what you got to stay above water, and then get right back in the fight, man.
Let me say a couple things about that.
Yeah.
One, I hope there's some people who have never, done charity work that will now get it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who'll be like, oh,
right.
There's a real need.
There's a real need, food. Shit, I needed a food pantry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hoping, that there'll be some of that. That's piece number one.
Yeah, man.
Piece number two, I heard this one story. There was this federal worker who couldn't get medicine for their child because, certain paperwork and stuff like that isn't. Newborn child needed some medication, stuff isn't getting filed, and it's affecting their lives. Like, at the end of the day, these federal workers are being treated like pawns. And, I'm not saying anything new, but didn't Trump also mention that, he threw it out there, which, the Democrats are pushing back, that he could end this shit at any point,
Yeah.
Like, for real, let's not try to split hairs. This is, he chose for this to be the route for us to go.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how you want to spin it, this was on him.
Absolutely.
On him. And any real leader, good or bad, when something happens under your watch, is yours.
I mean, he was the first one to say that when it happened with Obama, he put it on him. So it's frustrating. It's so frustrating on every side. And then the fact that like you said, using this as sort of like some, pawn or some part of a game, but like these are lies. Yeah. I saw one come across my feed. I just honestly didn't have the heart to open it up about people like rationing medications. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, all right, this is way past. This is not cute. Like, stop.
Man. Yeah, it's just unnecessary. Is the word that I keep on coming back to. We just don't have to do this. There's just we really don't. It just don't have to be this way. But in a much minor story, more and more people are declaring they're running for president every day.
I've seen, yeah.
Castro in Texas, the congresswoman in Hawaii. I think Elizabeth Warren the other day. Of course, Joe Biden is going to get in the game, and that's just on the Democratic side. Is there going to be a legitimate Republican challenger? Who knows? Because they're literally just there to draw blood because it'll be Trump. But still, that's fine. So, either way, let us know what you think. Just hit us up at the email, Facebook, wherever it is, and leave comments. And also 5-star reviews. I did not mention that in the beginning. We appreciate those. Continue to leave those, and we'll make sure to read it on the show if they are 5-star reviews.
Period.
That's it. All right. So from one jerk to another.
I was wondering how that transition.
Right. I apologize myself. I try not to curse too much on here. Robert Kelly. Ooh, I do want to give a small plug. Myself, CY, and Ray were guests on the I Do It for Hip Hop podcast this past week, and we had a chance to talk with them about R. Kelly. So check that out, as well as you'll hear on this feed mixed reviews. You guys had a chance to really get into it, and I enjoyed that conversation. So tonight, we've seen the memes. We've seen a lot of the discussions. We've spoken about it, but I feel like there's a couple of things to really talk about that may be a little new for you. If you've been under a rock, brief synopsis. There was a three-part series on Lifetime about R. Kelly and him being a perv that Dream Hampton produced, and it's made a pretty big impact. It was on everyone's lips, and a lot of people watched it and told their feelings. And even though we've known a lot of the information, it's jarring to hear it all put together, spoken by some of the victims and their families.
Right.
So there is that. Okay, thoughts before we get into the meat of it.
I don't know where to start. So many thoughts. I will say it's interesting that you mentioned the memes. I have some feelings about the memes.
Yeah.
I do feel like we don't have to make jokes out of everything.
Right.
But that's my own personal thing of like, you can have conversation, but keep in mind, like, very often with topics like this, like, he is alleged, and we can throw that in if we want to, but pedophile, rapist, on and on, abuser, blah blah blah. And so I do wish that people would be more sensitive to the fact that, like, when you joke about that, and that shows up,
right,
they have at any point in their life been victimized, like, you could be hurting people that you love. Just gonna throw that piece out there.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I think that's something I try to be mindful of, but
we knew.
I'll say it again.
We knew that he was horrible. We knew that he was horrible for a long time. I stopped listening to his music for quite a long time. It would always amaze me, even one-on-one, you get in somebody's car and they're listening to him, and I'm like, nah, like, I don't want to listen to that in your car, in my car, in anybody's car. But even after the documentary, having people still just defending him. They showed a clip of him showing up at some club last week.
Yeah, people going crazy.
And like people apparently like screaming, "Take me hostage." I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah. So yes. Yeah.
I think it's interesting, like, there's all this discussion about, our generation and outrage culture, and people can't wait to be mad. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Or another thing that's pissing me off is the, like, I saw this one meme, so, when will the discussion leave talking about, the destruction of black men?
See, like that's what I wanted to touch on. The low key, like,
and when will it become about, us overcoming white supremacy?
Okay.
Regin, what?
Bringing back an oldie, yeah.
I'm like, hot, and it's funny because, like, you don't want to get pulled in because, obviously if the person is saying this foolishness, that, right, like, they've passed the logic train and the good human being train. I get so mad. Like, why?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's easy. Why? It's easy because it's easy, because it's black and brown women. One.
Say that.
So it's easy, you know what I mean? And I think that comes back to sort of like why the resistance to it all. And it's because at the end of the day, talk about being like sort of at the bottom of the food chain. It's kind of like, it's easy to sacrifice these Black and brown women. You know what I mean? Like, why are we not trusting survivors? Why, even in the cases when people recognize that, like, all right, this is a thing, even beyond R. Kelly, this is a thing within our community, within many communities, but within the Black community, this is a thing. And even then, you'd hear people on Facebook who are like, you know, oh, well, you know, we all knew that girl in high school who was getting picked up by the 20-something-year-old guy, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you serious right now? Like, so we're blaming her for that.
See, like, for me, the discrete defenses of pedophilia and R. Kelly by default is what really ticks me off. The Trump method of, okay, yeah, R. Kelly, but what about this? Like, this is not what we're doing.
So we're not talking about that right now.
This is not what we're doing. It's just not what we're doing, man. And you know, before I just go off now, you had something really interesting. The idea, maybe not necessarily specific to R. Kelly, but the idea and the concept of what does forgiveness look like,
right? And
I wanted to have a little space for us to really talk about that and the things surrounding it. So, like, right. What? I
think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think it's, and honestly, I'll say part of why I wanted to talk about that is that I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like it's a conversation we need to have.
Nigga, y'all tell me.
Everybody looking around the table. Forgiveness. What? I don't know.
What you got?
You got something? I don't.
Forgiveness.
I think when it comes to
what?
When it comes to people like R. Kelly, I feel like it's a little easier because it's kind of like he ain't asking for forgiveness. So it's really easy not to forgive him. Right. Yeah, I mean, he's not saying sorry, you know, so it's easy. But like there was a gentleman and a journalist in a previously interviewed R. Kelly, and then he was in a documentary. He was the person that asked R. Kelly about whether or not he liked teenage girls, and R. Kelly's like, "What do you mean?" Is it Teray? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And R. Kelly's like, "What do you mean by teenager?" And it's like, "You mean what?"
Like teenager, dude.
But apparently, after it came out, though, first of all, well, beyond that, another Charlemagne was on there, and anybody who knows me knows I'm not a fan.
That's the triple header, Jesus.
At all. Right. So when I saw him, I was like, "What the hell is he doing here?" Okay, so that's a whole other conversation too. But with the story for Teray, it was like apparently he had a history of being accused of workplace sexual harassment, and so I guess the person who, you know, the alleged whatever victim in that case, or the person who was impacted in that case, forward, like, you know, she couldn't believe that he was up there. Right. So the thing with that story was, though, that there were a series of messages that apparently I think they must have been texting back and forth in the messages. And again, I'm not thinking. So in the messages,
right, wait, I'm sorry.
They're going back and forth.
I hate to do this. Quick pause. Teddy, are you hearing Thalia's pause?
Yeah. But I'm still getting the whole thought. That's why I didn't.
I'm sorry. Okay, shut up.
It's all good. Go ahead, Thalia.
Okay, I'm scared to change my connection, but we're gonna keep going for it.
Yeah,
Okay. So the whole thing was that so he in their message, because apparently they were also, I don't know, friends, but they were communicating via text. And basically in the messages, she's calling him out and she's saying that, like, yeah, you know, what you did was wrong. And he apologizes. And he says basically, from what I can remember, like, I didn't realize at the time. I mean, but I'm so sorry. Like, he apologizes for it, and he's like, you know, I'm so ashamed. I'll never do that again. You know, I didn't realize, on and on.
And so that being said,
this is right. This is right. So, you know, I don't know how to pronounce it. You might be right.
No, I was about to say, it sounds like I was throwing shade. I just wanted for the record to show. Like, that's that lame nigga Terry. Is that who we're talking about?
It's like, yeah.
And people been waiting to knock him down a peg for a minute. It's kind of sad.
Well, he's got the self-righteous vibe going. Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't know. I didn't really know who he was, but it was interesting to read the text messages because I don't know him. I don't know her. I don't know anybody, but it did sound like he was apologizing. Like he was saying, like, I messed up. Mm-hmm. I should not have done that. Again, not making excuses, but it's not surprising. The R. Kelly world, people think certain things are okay.
Yeah.
It's not. Don't do that. And so he, it doesn't sound like he is like putting it on her and you're too sensitive, on and on. So anyway, fast forward, all of that to say that it does kind of leave you at a point of what do we do with that? So again, the R. Kellys who are unapologetic, I'm totally fine with go after them. But when you have the folks who are kind of like, I messed up. I am acknowledging that I messed up. I did harm. I'm sorry. How can I fix it? Do you just say, no, you messed up and that's it? You lose your job and you never work again? Like, what does that look like? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's rough. So this conversation is rough on a lot of levels because it's like, it's something that we do have to talk about. But then, all of the daggers that, you see, you get, black people are, way too quick to forgive, we're way too quick to forgive when it's people that we like, outrage culture, all that kind of stuff, on a surface level makes it be, would make us want to be self-righteous and be like, no, I don't forget nobody, but in real life, if we're talking about, because let's be honest, not talking about shit is the reason why all of this shit is prevalent to begin with.
Right, and our granddaddies had second families across the street, right?
Right. And another, say what you want to say. Not talking about shit also gives permission to not apologize for shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, all of it needs to happen, and things need to run their course. And I believe that, if you fuck up, that, you should, you get your lumps, but the truth of the matter is it actually works out in people's favor. It works out in the predator's favor. Silence works out in the predator's favor.
Absolutely.
Which also means not having a discussion, which also includes at times discussions around forgiveness, actually ultimately works to keep things perpetuated. Because if you can't talk about forgiveness, then the worst of the worst is real comfortable keeping their mouth shut.
Sure.
Right. Because why would I say? What? And again, I'm not saying that he should be forgiven. I don't know enough about that story.
I don't think anybody's hearing that from you, but that,
especially his older brother.
No. I meant Torre. I didn't mean.
Okay.
I don't know for R. Kelly. No.
He's gone way too
far.
All
right. I do have something I have to admit. That for years I thought
listening to Gigolo, Nick Cannon and R. Kelly song.
For years I thought Teray was Aaron Magruder.
All black people do not look alike. What do you mean? Are you serious?
They don't?
I think I was reading the Boondocks comics and I was just like him.
So okay.
I feel a lot better compared to what I thought you were going to say, so that's good. I'll take that.
I felt like I was just bracing myself. I didn't know what you were saying. I was like,
I don't know, man. I just thought he wrote the Boondocks. All right, so accountability is a big piece for me, and the cardinal sin in this family is blame. You do something, you own up to it. If you're dealing with an issue, focus on, what you can do better, this kind of accountability piece. So when I see someone who can completely just act like it never happened, and really just live out this whole pimp shit. It's some old school Chicago pimp shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, my heart is very hardened. And I know why. You see, like, I guess the reason why I'm saying this is I know why my heart is hardened.
Right.
The rage that I feel, is not only are you, I've said it on the show. I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The least of these, you've done to me. It's very hard to find any forgiveness in my heart for someone who's a predator.
Yeah.
Right. Unapologetic.
And unapologetic, and even when you do apologize, it's going to be a while.
Right.
So catch me outside, man. I am amazed that he has, well, we don't know. He might have got his ass kicked. That might be the reason why he's wearing all those, eye patches.
That's because he's shady as hell.
Yeah.
I think that's just shady.
And you know what? Related to that somewhat is that, I identify as a Christian as well, and I've done prison ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've been in level 5 prisons, and I gotta say that even that in itself may not seem like it at the moment, but in reflection and prayer, I'm like, that was a privilege for me, because I saw people who've done horrible things in their best light. That's how I was introduced to them. So, but I also recognize that I'm not related to the pain that they've caused other people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's no rose-colored glasses that I'm looking at them with. It's just, like, if you really are supposed to look at somebody with the love of Christ, try to do that, and the real world implications, they can be different. They can be different. You know what I mean? So, like, and it's not, of course, exclusive to Christianity. It's just, that's my experience. But yeah, this is a lot. I'm glad that we at least gave it a moment to consider, not specific to R. Kelly to say yet again, but in general, the concept of forgiveness when it comes to such a gut-wrenching topic like that. And of course there are levels to it.
And I think it's both sides of it. It's the side of it of, like, we just gonna act like it didn't happen at all, or once, you know what I mean, and then nothing gets resolved, like you mentioned, or the flip side of, all right, now we're talking about it. Where do we go now?
Right. And where do we go from now is a great place to leave it, because that's probably what Jeff Bezos is thinking.
Yeah.
Where do we go from now when it comes to divorce? And you may be asking yourself, hey, who's Jeff Bezos? Well, if you ever bought anything from Amazon, he's the dude that gets a cut of it. He is the founder and largest holder of Amazon stock. So he is Mr. Amazon, essentially. And at last count, he was worth, in the ballpark, just estimating, around 186, not million. B as in billions.
He's the richest person on Earth.
Yes, right? On this round globe we
now.
call Earth. He is the one. He is Neo. And he has apparently been separated from his wife for a while, which I don't think anybody really knew, because it wasn't newsworthy.
Right.
And it wasn't newsworthy until this past week. His wife was just like, hey, let's get a divorce.
I was going to say, why is it newsworthy now?
Because of the numbers. That's
right.
it.
Right.
Because of the numbers. Because I'm pretty sure they have a house in California as well as Seattle, and I don't know if DC is like this as well. But it's a communal. What's the correct terminology? The communal property states, I believe.
Community property? I'm not sure how to put. Yeah, I'm
where
not sure
it's basically like 50-50.
Oh, wait. So is this how he found out?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Like
you know, they released a joint statement. It's going to be whatever.
And she get half?
I mean, technically, if she really wanted to fight for it, she could. Is she going to go for half? Who knows?
I think she should.
Well, I mean, listen.
Hold on. Wait. Is she about to take this nigga out of the running?
And to answer your earlier question, this is why it's news. Because when you think about the numbers, about the numbers, she could walk away. And mind you, this is not, they've been married for a year. They've been married 25 years with 3 or 4 kids or something like that.
And I mean, I think they were married before he was Jeff Bezos' Amazon.
Yes.
So I think that's a big piece of it too.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a big piece.
Who's the second richest person in the world?
I don't know, but they're about to be the richest.
About to be the first.
And did they write a check? Like, look, Mrs. Bezos.
If you can
give you this.
You know, I mean, just be real with me. Is it going to work out? If not, help me out.
Dear Mrs. Bezos, this is Oprah.
That's right. You know what? In context, Oprah, he is $185 billion richer than Oprah.
Wow.
He was.
It was. That's right. Now, maybe 40. Who knows? I don't know. After the lawyer fees. No, man. And that's the thing about it. Whatever the number is, they both going to be straight. But I think before this, I think it was the Titanic director, James Cameron, right? And that was, I think, maybe $800 million or something like that. I'm pretty sure this is going to beat it.
She's like, I don't gotta live like this.
And more important, if I'm the lawyer that got the call from her, woo, I am living great. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like the Johnny Carson jump. From back in the day. Like she's like, I am out. Oh my God!
It's amazing, man. It is amazing. So yeah, that is the goings on in Jeff Bezos' world. That's that's a lot. That's a lot. So we are gonna end this with a slow clap / SYAD and Rock. I'm gonna let you take over for that. If you're not familiar with this is where the legendary Stacey Dash Hall of Fame came from, where we take time to applaud people doing incredible things by giving them slow claps, as scattered as they may be. Yep, as such, yes. But we also take time to call people on the horrible things that they do, and we tell them, sit your ass down. And we do it through clenched teeth like your mom did at church. So, just to make you feel good.
Well, if you make me lose my religion in church.
If you going to embarrass me, I will just, yeah. So, first one, who we got up, Rock?
All right. So, I'm actually going to switch them because I want to end on a positive note. So, I'm going to start off with the sit your ass down. So, one of the phenomena that's been going on about 2 weeks ago during the holiday, I said a lot of shit went down. It seems like damn near everybody, except for like the people who be like, other people like this, so I'm not going to watch it. There was this movie, you might have heard about it, called Bird Box.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I didn't, but that's a whole other conversation.
So, they're these fools who out here. So, not millennials. What's after millennials? Zennials. There's some zennials, teenagers.
It seems like it was a wide range of foolishness.
Man.
But yeah.
I don't think it was exclusive to age. Just dumb people.
Well, somebody had one of them challenges going on and decided they was going to try to be blindfolded and drive in their car. Mm-hmm. They're going to drive in their car to do, it said a teenager driver in Layton, Utah. Guess the race. Shout out to the black guy who texts. Crashed her car while wearing a blindfold.
Yeah.
A stunt inspired by the Netflix movie Bird Box. I know Netflix at that point was like, "Oh, you just go Fox me real quick." Just go Fox me, huh? All right.
Poor Netflix has been like putting out statements like, "Stop."
That's
like,
right. That's right.
Stop.
That's right. And then somewhere there's an intern that's got to send those statements out while executives are high fiving. They're just like, "Yes, some more promotion, baby." Yes.
So it's funny because it was like, it reads, "Bird Box challenge while driving. Predictable result." This is the editorial. It was great.
They're like, you know what happened.
The Layton Police Department tweeted on Friday, "Well, you got police having a ball on Friday like this fool in Utah."
I love it.
This happened on Monday as a result of the driver covering her eyes while driving on Layton Parkway.
Why?
Luckily, no injuries. On a parkway, y'all. It wasn't like she was like, "All right, I'm going to try to not hit one of these
she
poles."
She could have killed somebody.
Yeah. And well, hopefully herself, if anybody. But yeah, no.
Well, she hit another car.
Yeah.
So,
She hit another car. And I was just like, you know what? Before I say anything else to you, young lady, sit your ass.
All of them. Tell them all.
Sit your dumb ass.
Without a blindfold in the world where, old 50-year-old women get young, virile black men because they're the last people on earth. Sit your ass down. All right, so that was our sit your ass down. For the slow clap, and this way, the slow clap is going to include, there's some sit your ass downs within the slow clap. So I saw an article, Washington Post, shout out, y'all did y'all thing. It says, Caps, which is the hockey team from Washington, D.C. Caps surprised Maryland. It says, Caps surprised Maryland hockey team that defeated black teammate. Defended black teammate after race.
What did they do?
I was like,
we defeated the black.
I was like, wait, hold on,
because hockey's got all the Russian names as is. I'm like,
it could have been right. Swatchikov said. All right, so it says when Devontae Smith, Pelly, and John Carlson heard about Divine Apollon Jr. All right, this dude's name is spelled Divyne. Okay.
He's the second. Let's just put that out there. So,
the second. All right, excuse me. The second. The 13-year-old defenseman for the Odenton-based Metro Maple Leafs, who faced racist taunts and chants of "Go play basketball."
Oh, man.
Go play basketball.
They were making monkey sounds. Yeah, they got bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, you're a kid. You're playing hockey. I mean, let's be real. You're trying to get a scholarship. You're trying to go to college. That's the only reason why you play hockey.
Don't be like that.
You're trying to get your life together.
Oh, ain't no more football scholarships? Shit, give me the stick, man. Come on, let's see what...
I mean, look, my mama said she would. She told me I better sit your ass down and play hockey because I ain't paying for college. All right, sorry, that's horrible. You know what? He has everything and all the resources.
I love him some hockey. Yeah,
just loves hockey because he wanted to play fucking hockey. He's not a stereotype.
Good for him.
Right.
Fight the power.
At a recent tournament involving the Maple Leafs, the opposing team coach and referees did nothing to quell the racist animosity.
Right.
And that's the part that really gets me. Like, I know y'all heard about, like, the what was it, the wrestler who, the referee was like, "You need to cut your hair," which I thought was real weird because the referee who made him cut his hair was a white dude, but all the pictures had like this white woman,
right? And she was smiling while she was doing it too.
It's weird. Anyway, but I thought it was weird. So anyway, the Capitals provided the Metro Maple Leaf tickets, 60 tickets to a Monday game, and basically they gave him the tickets because his team third inning went to whoop that ass.
They were like, "You ain't treating our teammate like this."
Hey, dog. When they say
he got suspended, and they stood up for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, look, right. If for all y'all who try to figure out what being an ally really look like,
it means hands. It means when somebody turns to your black teammate, you say, "You know what time it is? Hands 30." Boom, and we going. And
they be like, "All right." That's the only answer. It ain't even yes. It's
That's it.
all right with an E. All right. Now you are an ally. All right. So for all the allies in the world, first of all, the first one's go to all the real allies in the world. Understand hands 30.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. All right. And we want to give it up. We want to give it up to the Caps, for getting those tickets and just being like, look, man, at the end of the day, in this world where, everything is so PC and the people who are actually the victims are the ones who get taken advantage of, you know what? We gonna lift y'all up.
Man.
There you go.
You get the awkward, slow clap from B.A. Well,
Back, baby. It's back.
It's motherfucking back. So with that, man, I just want to say, yeah, man, I'm just glad that this young man, it's horrible that he had that experience, but at least he also now knows that even when the people, your coaches or whoever's supposed to stand up, there are people who won't just stand up for you, but will go above and beyond for you. So that's beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
Yes, indeed. And on that beautiful note, this has been another episode of the Black Astronauts Podcast. Please reach out to us at blackasstronautspodcast@gmail.com. The Facebook group, as we mentioned before, Instagram, we are in these streets as well. And as always, leave a 5-star review and tell a friend to tell a friend. We out here and we appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is Teddy. I'm sorry. Let's go around. I apologize. The members of Mixed Reviews, go right ahead.
This is Letha. Peace. Great to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy Ronald McNair on Facebook. Holla at your boy.
All right. We'll see y'all in a couple. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.